Hey everybody, AG51 Goose here, and this video I'm going to show you how I tank, and hopefully I'll be able to give a few pointers to some people, especially beginners, learning how to tank, and that'll help them out. Alright, so first thing, we'll be tanking with a KC-135 MPRS, which has a TACAN. So you need to know the TACAN number. In this case it's 19. You need to know the tanker's radio frequency, or what channel he's on. In this case, again, he's on channel 19, frequency 124 VHF. Alright, and so let's just get started here. Okay, so first thing we do, we'll bring up our HSI page, because this is how you would select your TACAN. Alright, and then we'll turn the TACAN on in the center, and he is on channel 19. Enter, and as you can see, the compass is spinning around in a circle here. It's not working right because I forgot to put it on there. So if the compass is spinning in a circle, that means that you don't have something set up right. A lot of the times the air-to-air will be set on the channel Yankee instead of channel X-ray, but sometimes Yankee doesn't work, so our squad just always uses X-ray. Alright, so and then with the TACAN, what we get here is, this is the bearing to the tanker, which constantly changes. This is the range to the tanker. This is the estimated time we're going to arrive, and this is his call sign. And then of course, if you come up and look out your HUD, you can see the distance to the tanker and its call sign up here in the right corner. The other thing is, we go to the SA page, and on the SA page, as you can see, we can see the tanker up here out in front of us, and he's starting to turn a bit to the left as well. And of course, on the SA, it gives you the same information in the top left corner as it does on the HSI. Okay, so now another thing that might be interesting to people when you're refueling is to bring up your fuel page. Okay, because I know when you're fueling, there's the hesitant to want to look down here to see how much fuel you have, and then when you look back up, you're all over the place, right? So if you bring this page up, you can see your total fuel right here with no problem at all. The other thing is that voice attack is very nice to use when you're tanking, and I'll kind of demonstrate that right now. So typically you call the tanker at about 20 miles out, and we're pretty close. So I'm going to go ahead and call the tanker here once I get my radio set to 19. There we go. Alright. Column 1, F6, F1.
Marco, 1-1. Springfield, 1-1. Request rejoin.
Okay, so he's almost right beside us.
Springfield, 1-1.
Pretty tight turn here.
1-1. Proceed to pre-contact at 19,000 at 290.
Alright, so that just basically told us he's at 19,000 feet, and he's doing 290 knots. Which I can tell you right now, he's not doing 219 knots, or 290 knots. And he'll probably be slightly below 19,000 feet as well. That's pretty typical with this stuff. So now, one of the nice things with the voice attack is that when you get in position with the tanker, you have to call ready pre-contact, and they're famous for telling you to ready pre-contact again and close the menu out on you, and then you have to look at the keyboard to bring it back up, or unless you have it assigned to other buttons. That's one of the reasons I like to put it pre-contact. Okay, so we're a mile out, so I'm going to bring my throttle right back here. Probe out. Speed brakes out. It should be coming in on the left side, actually, of the tanker, and slightly below his engine, so we don't get caught in the strut wash. Alright, speed brake off. So you'd actually pull up on his left side, especially if you have more than one guy. And then of course you would call when you're ready to move in, or let the other pilots know that you're moving into position. So I'm taking position up on the left side, and of course I'm going too slow here. So one thing for beginners, if you're first learning how to tank, what I would suggest on doing is to don't even bother trying to plug into the basket. Just bring it up to you, and then just try and sit there with the basket. Trust me, because it'll teach you throttle control, and it will help in the tanking end of it if you can get it down. Okay. And the other thing that helps you do is it helps you figure out the speed that the tanker is actually doing. See if I can demonstrate this. So we're just going to try and bring the basket in front of us, in front of the HUD, and we're just going to try and keep it there, okay? So 284 doesn't look too bad. 285, we're definitely too close. Oops. That's what speed. And stay at 284. And the reason I'm saying to try and do this is because this will help you with the throttle control. So the 284 actually doesn't look too shabby if you can get it to stay at that. Alright, I haven't called ready for contact yet because I just wanted to show you guys, to try and just stay here with the basket like this. Keep it in there. Alright, so we know he's doing about 284. 285 is too fast, 283 is too slow, so 284 looks pretty good. And everything I'm doing here is very small movements. On the throttle, that might be a couple millimeters forward, a couple millimeters back kind of thing. It's not very much, right? But it's just kind of trying to get used to that. So, okay. And I think that will help with staying with them. So I'm going to go ahead and call ready pre-contact, and let's get it plugged in here. F1.
Ready pre-contact. Cleared contact.
And you don't have to plug your probe right into the basket. You just got to get it close enough to it in the right spot, and it'll
Contact.
say jump in by itself as it did there, but I was going too slow.
Contact.
Fuel low. Fuel low.
You're taking fuel.
So 284 is pretty good. But as you can see, I'm slowly gaining on him on 284. So if you get too close to him, it will disconnect as well. So you just have to try to keep this spot. And so right now I'm throttle back a bit, throttle forward a bit, throttle back a bit, throttle forward a bit, throttle back a bit, throttle forward a bit, throttle back a bit, and I'm going to get in a little close, so I'm going to let it drop to 283. So go back, throttle forward, throttle back, throttle forward, forward, forward. Come on, throttle back a bit, throttle back a little more. It's too big of a jump. So now I'm probably going to end up chasing the throttle a little bit. But this is the whole big one to tanking, is the throttle control. And as you can see with bringing up the fuel page, I can just look over and see I got 5,000 pounds, 5,500 actually of fuel, without having to look down. So I got about another 5,000 pounds to go if I wanted to top rate up completely. And that, as you can see, like you say, it's not actually that hard to do. It's just that fine throttle movement that keeps you in here. This KC-135 is in a circle pattern, so he's always in a turn while we're tanking. So really, a lot of what I'm doing, see, it says 284, so I pull my throttle back a little bit, right? It goes to 283, I wait a couple, and then I push it forward a little bit. And he's staying at 283, so I'll push it forward a little more. 284, I'll pull it back a bit and try and hold that 284. Let him, you know, slowly climb back in again, as you can see. Then pull it back a little, so he goes to 283, and then push it forward again as soon as it hits 283. You know, just a couple millimeters, just enough to get it to go back to 284. Like, a lot of the movement I'm doing on the throttle, I can barely even feel that I'm moving it. You know, just kind of how fine you have to be with it. And I would also suggest that when you're trying to tank, especially for new guys, you know, do it for half an hour, and that's it. And then walk away from it, because if you don't, if you chase this thing around for hours on end, it's going to frustrate the hell out of you. And typically you find that the longer you try to do it for in a row, then the more likely you are to not be able to accomplish, the worse you'll get. That's just the way it is. Alright, probe in. Alright, so then once you're done, of course, you slide over to the right side of the tanker, below him and below anybody else that's tanking, and then once you're on the right side, you'd come back up level with it and then hold, stay in full holding, or holding on the right side until everybody else is done tanking. And of course, the next guy done tanking will do the same thing. He'll go under you. He should go under you and pull up on your right side. Alright, and that is you know, pretty much what there is to tanking. It's probably 98% or 99% throttle control. Hope you guys were able to take something out of this that was a little helpful for you. And we'll say goose out for now and see you in the next video.